In this video, I want to share with you how versatile is ComfyUI, how many things we can do just in this application. Well, first, let's go start with installations. And I did some video before when we got in depth and showing how the nodes work and everything, and I'll put link down below for you if you're interested. So this will be very fast overview, just in case if you're missing or just want to refresh it. So to download latest versions, again, there will be link provided down below, and you want to go to download ComfyUI from here. Easiest way probably to do it is download the mobile versions or versions as self-contained in one zip file. For this, you just go to the site, scroll all the way down here, and we can see installing, click to direct download. So all what you do, you download it one single file, and when you open the file, inside you'll see some directory, and inside directory, like right here, ComfyUI, if you click on this, you can see all files contained here. So we'll just take these files, drag, and literally drop in your folder where you want to put it. So in my case, I'll just place it right here. Notice I have it very many different locations. And it's a personal preference because I like to experiment with the new nodes. I like to experiment with the code, the rewriting, changing, and sometimes I just don't want to mess around. In this case, I just created different folders and the environment and everything isolated just to that place. Very nice way to experiment. And if you on the way that you like to experiment, put in new stuff, trying, and don't want to get too frustrated, I will recommend create like your sandbox. Yes, your different things. If you don't like it, just delete it. It's all. But before you delete it, we'll have it one small things to modify to this entity. It's actually where we're pointing to the models, because models as usual take a large space. And if we look right here, we're going to my original models. So we click inside the models, and let's go to checkpoints, and we'll see how some of them like 6, 8, a big size. Yes, and this is not all. I have it even more, and I don't want just downloaded them constantly. So what I do, I have one general things where I put it all models, and I let other ComfyUIs connect it to this. So every installations, they kind of share one library of the models, because most time models, they won't change like custom nodes or other things, and you can modify this way. So to do this, let's say right here, if you notice my ComfyUI, this is my main one. Yes, and I have it models here. I want to point to that place. For this, we need to modify, and let me show you. So right here, for example, I just download this and open. So we have this fresh, new, just open ComfyUI, and you'll notice we have it run CPU NVIDIA, so we're fine. We don't need to update because I just got it. But if we're going inside ComfyUI here, you'll notice we have an extra model path, and it says example. We actually want to use it as YAML file, so we'll need to replace. But what we're going to replace, because I already modify in here, and we see right there. You just need to remove this example, you need extra path. But let's look what is inside. And I'm going to open with Visual Code. It's a free from Microsoft. You can download it. Very nice to edit. And if we look in here, well, let me close the release note. You'll notice it will be look a little bit different. Okay, let me go open another one. For example, we go open this example. Yes, and actually, you know what? Let me drag and drop. That is probably will be much faster and easy than just navigate. So I'll take this example and just drag here. If we look, you can see this. You see like pound keys. It's pound. It means it's comment out. So it's just for the note to read, but it's ignoring. And you'll notice we have it one already predefined for automatic 1111, because sometimes you may have a different installations. In this case, your ComfyUI can actually share with a different, with like automatic 1111 installation models, so you don't need to re-download it. But I'm not interested in this. I'm interested to share with mine. So, and if you look on this model, I comment out automatic 1111. I uncomment where the ComfyUI was located, and I put it the path where is mine located. You can also add additional. So for example, if I have it some other ones beside where I want to add, I can add here additional path to specific model that is looking for. Well, after you're done, be sure you save, and you save as model path.yaml, and just remove that example. Because I already done this case, what I will do, I'll just get this my example YAML, what is done here, and I'm going to mine ComfyUI right here, and I'll just go drag in this directory, and I'll hold it down with my control key, so just copy that path. We'll go inside and verify. Notice right here, yes, we do have this now inside. So it's meaning if I start my applications, it will read all models that I want to use it. But if you don't have those models, I'll show you how we can download them as well. Well, next what we want to do, before launching, I want to install ComfyUI Manager. And this is help us to work with a lot of models. I would highly recommend. I'm surprised it's not yet included in the package with ComfyUI, because it's so useful and almost everyone use it at the time. So to do this, it will be part of custom nodes. We need to go inside the folder called custom nodes here. And inside here, we need to open as command prompt. Easy way to do, if you go on the top with the path, click and type CMD. This will open command prompt. So now we need to know what to put in command prompt. And what we're going to do, it is, where's my code? Right here. Okay, we're going to the specific Git repository. And right here, you can see this is manager. If we scroll down all the way, they actually have it even command for you to run. And this is command we want to run. Of course, this is already have some prerequisite need to be done. Like for example, Git, Python, and other ones all need to be installed. Git is a free application, and I would recommend for you install if you don't have it. Just going and search for download Git, or link down below, so you can go here and download it. This just applications allowed run Git in command line. So we go right there, and we'll just copy this. Okay, copy. Let's go back to our prompt, and we just pasting in here. What it does, it's a take repository from online and copy this code on your local machine. This will allow you to execute this code without accessing server. So technically, ComfyUI, after you install, it will be absolutely private and run on your computer without accessing internet. You can actually unplug the cable and it still work just fine. And now you saw how fast it is installed. If we check on config, we'll see right here it's created new folder, and inside folder we have this code with custom node. So let's go back to our ComfyUI. We'll go to topper level where we have to run, and let's just double time click and run. Early version of ComfyUI package was including model. If you don't have any model, you need to download them, and I will show you shortly where we can download those models. But right now, I just want to be sure it's just running. And if everything installed properly, which should no problem because it's very, very simple upload, you can see we run a basic ComfyUI. Let's check what we have here. This is our nodes where we're going to use. This workflow look almost exactly the same as original, and actually it is with a few exceptions. The one exception, if you notice, our checkpoint is Huanyuan using a very nice model to creating, which is work same size as SDXL or Flux. It's using 1024 by 1024 latent space, so it's quite a bit nice. And the reason is I brought here just to showing you that SD 1.5 or smaller models, they're still useful, you still can work with them, but very similar workflow available with a much better model with a very photorealistic, very high level of the generated image on this. So same like another ones down below right here, I put a place where you can download the model and install it in a folder that it should locate it. But I won't go too much over this because it is look very similar to basic model of creating images. But I do want to mention here because I think this is a next level in creating images ComfyUI based on the quality and resolutions we have. Another workflow you must have if you want to work with video, it's a Huanyuan video. So let me show you closer what do we have here? You'll notice we have it our loading models. And by the way, I'll have it linked down below to my Patreon site where for free you can download it, the workflows. They're like classic based workflows. I only modify them to also provide some notes easy in one place where you can downloading models from and where do you need to install those models. With some fixes, like for example, right here, it's need go in a clip directory, not in a text and version directory. It's based on my own installation, and as I'm testing, if I found some errors, I'm fixing them as well. So the link will be for you down below. Okay, after you download these models, you place them right places, you will have this workflow that allowed you to create a very beautiful image animation. So this is default text, and before we go over see how it's work, let me show you. This is animations I just generated. It took me about 33 minutes for this animation to create. Notice how it's a smooth and coherent animations. It does have some problems, little bit on the fingers, I can see right here below, but it's still straight out of the default text prompt and everything, and with the model, it's very impressive what it can do. Okay, if we look closer on workflow, what it can do, we have a small note in this original note about if you can replace from 16 to 8 if you need it. If you have smaller memory, your GPU, and you want a little bit small model, so you can replace this. As well, we have it our load for the clip, model, and via here. And if we look down, okay, well, let me move this right there. And if we look here, you'll notice it's have it one prompt. It does not have a negative prompt. It's similar to when we work with a flex, so it's very similar to this. Down below, we have it our resolution for the video, included link on the frames. We have it notice as 73 frames, and the amount of frames, it does not necessarily say how long it will be. It is a frames and how many frames per second that will create how long your video will be. In this case, right here we have frames, and if we're going to save animation output, you'll notice right here we have a 24 FPS or frames per second. So this is approximately tell you how long these animations will be if you divide it. Okay, if we look down below, we have our basic scheduler, and for animations you see this is all what settings default I was using. Okay, we have our flex guidance, and if we're going down, it's our sampler, and we have it our decoder from latent to normal space. We also have it just the image if you want to separate just the image itself, and our save animations, or where we combine all of this in web animations image. One thing that I would recommend from default values here, it's changed this quality from 80 to 100. 80 it's having some compressions, and you'll see problems. And what I like to do when I generate this video, I like to upscale to at least 1080 or 4K resolution, and you can use it internally, or you can use a Topaz Video AI. I will provide for you a link down below, because that tool I like a lot. I use it all the time because you can have a frame interpolations as well as upscale, and it does a very good job on this with the models. So again, you can render here and create it, and let's look one more time. Look on this, it's a beautiful animations was creating. I understand some of this workflows is very basic, but we're building our blocks, so I will just mention some of them, don't going too much depth in them, but they will be available, and I would recommend for you to have those workflow available just in case you need to refresh something or build on this. So this one is basic image to image. You can notice right here we have our import image. We're utilizing a very simple model for this test. Here we're converting to our via encoder, so in latent space, utilizing our positive negative prompt, using simple case sampler, and decoding from latent space to our image. Because I says it's very primitive, if we have a very large image, it will mess up with output result, because it does based on the size. If you want to create obviously better model, you almost want to put it image resize right here, or have it to special proportions, so it will stay in a latent space of our model we're using. But it's a good starting point, and from there you can actually learn by adding additional elements to make its work even better. This type of workflow, I think it's one of the crucial and important, and a lot of other ones based on this. This is called Inpainting. So let me show you what it's meaning. Right here we have an image, and you can see I use it other applications to remove piece of the image from here, the one that I don't want it or I want to replace it. Then I'm going to write what I want to replace with, and after it's generated, you can see it's replaced with ocean. It's very nice to remove items. Why I say it's a very good base in what we're using this, we can use it in Paint tool for outpaint. It's mean when you have an image and you want to expand, same idea we'll use there. As well, you can use it for face swap, replace partially image inside. I mean, you can see how many that techniques take one small area and replace it, can work in so many areas. For example, if you create image and it's look nice, but maybe have it too many fingers. With Inpainting, you can fix it without regenerate all image and maybe lose all other cool stuff you already have it and created. For this, you will need to load the model, and again, this is not maybe the best model to use for Inpainting, but it's excellent to experiment. It's not big model, loading very fast, and perform actually not bad. I speak about all workflow. It's a very good basic workflow. However, I have it many other ones workflows, and I'll put them down, where you can actually inpaint inside here. So for this, you need preloaded image, which is already have it mask inside. In this case, it's PNG with transparent cut off. So it's meaning you need process and other applications, maybe like a GIMP or other things. So you need prepare, load it, and then paint. But it's got other workflows that allow you to create this mask inside the ComfyUI. And thus is a little bit more handy. However, they don't utilize these pre-built nodes, or they need to preload it some other ones created custom nodes. And right now I want just showing you with the nodes that is come inside the ComfyUI as you install it. And if I already mentioned the outpainting, let me just very fast showing the different. Notice right here we're using exactly the same model as Inpainting. The only difference is we adding this additional node between where it specify on what area we want to expand our image. So what it does, it's read the image, expand to this way, and leave it that space for us as the transparent or mask. It's all what it does. And also we have additional options right here with the feathering. It's how much smooth or blending will happen after all. And if right here we have it add on top and bottom, and we can look on this image, and you can see definitely right here on the bottom we added, hey, we even add a signature just to be sure, and we add top. So if we need it, we can have it white text signature. So we don't want it in a negative prompt. Let's render one more time right here. And here we have another image. Yep, that's great, much better. I think we're kind of done with this simple workflow. Let's look on something very fun and cool. Mainly a bit more complex workflow, but I think they make exciting. They make something very interesting to do. So what's happening in this workflow, we have it actually 4 different zones. So we actually can create 4 different zones in our image, and these currently variations, you can see we have like on the top, we have it our universe, galaxy. Here we have it sunset, we have it our blue sky, and we have it morning sky. So we have it like different like floating. And if we look on the image with render, you can see how it's separate. So this is allowed to create the very complex images by zones separating. And of course, if we look down after this, or our text conditions is coming to placement for this. So it's set the area, it's set width, height for each of the segment, and it's also apply the string. For example, obviously this have a little bit more string, but notice on this X and Y positions. So we have it shift down on a white, little bit lower. So it's kind of like render tick, 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 one below. Then combine those conditioning, conditioning together. We'll go next to our samplers. where we preload our size for the image original size. And it's kind of try to keep it the same ratio, because if we're going on height 128, you can take this height, combine, and it should all will combine together properly. After this, we're going to latent upscale, which is create all those great details. And notice we cannot just upscale, we must have it a VA which support that specifically latent space vector upscales. Then we're going another model, we have it which add more details, orange card. Right here we have it also on this model, applying, and there's our final image. It is creating a very incredible, interesting way you can do. And I can see how, you maybe want to create like a space, atmosphere, ocean, and below ocean. You probably saw those pictures, they're like almost cut and going from all different things. This is one interesting way you can create, and you're not just stuck with a landscape. You can also try maybe create a bottle, create horizontal, not necessarily vertical, because all what we need to do right here, it's a change our shifting where we want to go, change width and height. Just recalculate. You can also flip X and Y, and now instead vertical, you will have it like almost panorama horizontal, and then you can specify better, like describe two army battles, for example, goblins and orcs, or goblins, hobbits, whatever you're going with, you can describe it much easy. Instead, try to put in a prompt everything. You can just create very nice scenery in one area and combine them together. Give you much more flexibility and control over content that you created. Those models in VA, whatever we're using, I put it down right here in the notes if you're interested, because by default those models is not loaded, same as a VA, but you're not just strict to this. For example, if you look right here, this is a little bit older model. It's using anything version 3.0. I think it's have much newer models, and you can try replace here with model that you like to use. Other things, you're not just stuck here to put one next to this horizontal vertically. You also can overlay on a top. So what I was meaning, let me show you. Look on this workflow. So right here we have it same, but we have it character positioning in this area. So what's happening, let's look on our code. We have it what before, all of these 4 different zones, and we can see we position exactly the same places. However, we have an additional 5th, which is describing our model. And as well, if we look on condition base location, we have it width and height for this, and we also have it locations where we want that zone overlay right there. Next, let's look on conditions. So we can notice right here we have it also additional going in combiner, and here is most important. We have it 1 combiner, 2 combiner, and after we're done combining with backgrounds, we have an additional condition combining with our character or hero, and the rest is very similar. Just go in sampler, creating, upscaling, very, very similar, and there you go. So it's meaning you can also says create this background, and when done everything, you can add additional condition to this to add whatever you want. I add a rocket going in a space, you add beautiful character or other things. And how I said before, you not just need it vertically right here, for example, horizontal, and we're using only 2 areas to describe our 2 characters. This is work excellent if you have reference like with image in other ways, and you may have it more consistency kind of, to control specific areas. About this specific workflow, I have a full video how to use the NVIDIA Cosmo to create animations. Workflow, again, it will be available for you, or you can go download it directly from ComfyUI, and then nice because nodes now included with your basic installations. It's make much easier to install it. Don't need worried about updating a lot of stuff, but just in case if you're missing some nodes, remember inside the manager you can click install missing custom nodes, and then it will find it and reinstall it. So let's just refresh a little bit, And a link will be down below if you're interested more in details, go over how it's work. For the original video, I put link down below, but let's look over how this workflow, what's happening here. Notice we're preloading clip, and by the way, in some models, you'll notice like diffusion model and clip and where they may be separated. Not always can be in one, and mostly it's happening when it's complex model or somebody develop model and they want to use it via or clip from other developers. So right here we have it our clip, we have it our model, we have it our positive negative prompt. Notice we have it bypass some of the modules, and again, watch the video to see why we bypassing them. You can always re-enable by right click and re-enable here, just uncheck bypass, and now they're ready to work. In this case, we have it 24 frames, and reason why they're bypassing, because we have it also in save animations 24 frames here. So this is a reason. You maybe want enable frames if you may be using like video to video creating by utilizing Cosmo. In this case, you want to be sure your frame rate is matching your render. Other ones, you may have a problem with some funny animations. Down below, we have it loading our latent video for this. It's where we create size, this, and a link. It's how many frames we'll have right here. Remember, the link is depend on how many frames and how many frames per second. So if we take 121, we can divide by 24, and it's approximately 5 seconds will be there. Okay, so next we also have it our case simpler, where we have it our VIA, and notice right here we have it our VIA loaded into our decode. We actually have it here diffusion model, clip, and VIA. And if we look as example on our basic one, animation is basic model loading, and you notice here we have it model, clip, and VIA all together. And in this case we have it same, they only loaded 3 different. And because of that, you will need loaded not just one checkpoint, you will need downloaded checkpoint, you will need downloaded clip, and you will need downloaded VIA as well. And on our output we have it save animations. Again, by default it's 80. I would recommend set to 100, and you can save as separate images if you want later process them and combine by yourself, or you can use it some MP4 applications to combine those together and create different format of the video. Of course, we're looking on the ComfyUI, and first what come in our mind, it is, oh, ComfyUI can create images, it can paint, or paint can increase, it could create videos, but you know, ComfyUI can done much more than this, because this is just interface, and what node or AI behind it can help us create. For example, we can create music inside here, and this is simple workflow. By the way, in the notes right there you can see the models. Be sure you download and put those models in the right place before testing, and we can download it these checkpoints and clip, put it what we wanted, text, what type of music we wanted. Look, it's almost look like it's image creating. We have our sampler, we have a decode. Instead image, we have a decode to audio, and there you go. That music is created with AI right here inside the Comfy. Of course, this music, it does not have this complex elements like we do in the Sudo or other ones, or even other applications so that we installed. Watch my previous video about when we did local installations for the music. So it does not have this complexity, because DOS is much bigger model, but it still perform very well. And with how its progress going, it's matter of the months till we have it even better, more complex music, as easy as here's ComfyUI to build. And again, if you approach this as a building blocks, you can see how you can combine this creating music with combining images, with creating video and using musical video, same like what video I just did before, where we can create everything in one workflow, from a text prompt to create a music video. Well, let's a little bit closer to look what we have here. We have it load our clip, it's for our text. We have a checkpoint, and of course those need to be special trained models for the audio. We have it our how many seconds we want to create our audio. Next, we have our sampler. Of course, this is sampler utilize. We don't utilize image. We're utilizing special for the music. We have our via decoder from latent space to audio and save our music in a folder. And of course, right here below, if you're downloading my adjusted workflows, it will be notes where you can download it. Notice it's not my original workflows. I just open and I modify. I just add some notes after I validate everything and just put it where you can place all that stuff. So just convenience everything at one place. In previous videos, we're looking how we can actually create a 3D object from text and a texture. And it was actually complex setup, but it's performed not bad. But sometimes you don't need this. Sometimes what you have it one character, maybe you create comic book, story or something, and you wish the angle just was a little bit changed for this character. So with this workflow, you can do this very simple way. So let's look right here. You can see we have our input image here. By the way, this again, you can find in notes models and where to download them from and where to place. So you have this special model preloaded. You have your image. Then you specify elevation and azimuth. So you specify position where is not the object. Think about the camera. Yeah, it's position of the camera. You're specifying around the object. And then you render from this position. So let's do like instead azimuth, I want to put 90 degrees. So I want not front, I want side. Yes, we'll go 90 degrees and let's go render. And there you go. Look, it's rendered from the side of the object. Okay, let's go right here, this workflow. And let's says 90 degrees as well. So I want to do from the top. Like so position right here. And there you go. We have it from the top object. So you take this camera, you can position, which is will give you a lot of flexibility. Only one minus here, it is, if you look, it's a 256 by 256. So our image is a little bit smaller. And here I want to go to the moment, you remember when I says we will come back to some simple workflows because it will help us. And one of them, it's actually upscaling. Well, this is upscale model, and you can see we just loaded checkpoint. It doesn't matter which one. We just do all the stuff. What we interesting is this one. Look how simple it is. We can take model and we can upscale. Of course, it's have much better upscaler. If you look on some, they have it very complex upscaler with a different model, so you can use it. But this one is simple. And if you don't done before, if you don't have the experience, I will recommend just start with this. And as you get hand of this, you can increase, you can put it a better, more sophisticated in this case. Well, let's just show how we can do this. So right here we can have, let's go back to here and we'll just double time click to open. And let's select load upscaler model. So we'll just add here. Okay. And notice next node what we wanted. It's upscale image using model. So what have we done? Double time click and let's type upscale. And right here, this one will have it more complex, and you can see it's actually showing in preview what we have it. We have it also more simple. We have it upscales, and we have it also latent and some other ones, and have it very cool custom nodes that create very nice, flexible, and very sophisticated upscales, but we'll cover those in another videos. But for this, what do we want to do? We'll just select this, what do we have it? We'll take our model, connect here. Our image will connect here. Oop. I need actually drag and connect, yes. And our output image, we'll just put it to save image, like right here. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger so we can preview and see how small ones. Okay, let's go change this. Let's go put it ours in value 0. So we'll just have it from sideways. Yeah. Okay. And as we render, you can see it. There you go. Of course, it is not the best upscaler. It's not, you can see the problems. But idea of what you can do with workflow when you have this flowing and you understand all these small components where we can use it, like upscaler here as a reference, then you can put it in. And of course, if you look at this upscaler, does not work necessarily good. So you can go in and you can try find different upscaler. Keep in mind that not all is here. Sometimes what you want to experiment maybe, but big exclamation mark, like big, huge one, be careful in this, because you don't want to download any custom nodes. It's too many of them, and some of them will be conflicted, so be careful with this. And because I say be careful, go back, rewind to beginning of the video where we install ComfyUI. That is makes sense why I installing ComfyUI in a different ones, because I like to experiment. I like to see on the new models, but sometimes those nodes, they're conflicting or other things happen, and it's the reason why I want to create clean environment, learn, study, and implement in my work environment later. So what I was speaking, managers, we go to custom node manager, and right here we can search, for example, upscaler, and see how many we have different ones. Some of them very nice, some of them okay, but right here I scan these ones. For example, notice what's happening. It's conflicting with one node. So it's kind of telling you we have maybe problems. So then you have all these different tensors, upscale. Some of them will require special model download. But here you can find a lot of different custom nodes. And of course, you can go in different areas and find more online when people sharing with them. And kind of fun to do with this. Well, I have way more workflows, cool ones to showing it. Can create truly stereoscopic images here if you want. VR, flux. We didn't even touch control net, and all related with a depth field, relighting, other ones. So many workflows, and that will be in our another video. So don't miss this. Subscribe, like, click notifications to know when more of these cool workflows for ComfyUI, those essentials coming out. See you next time.